Hi, welcome to our CS310 project demonstration video. We can start by starting the backend by using this function on our file. And we can see the front end by opening the HTML file in any internet browser. Now that we're at the front end, you can see we can add a dataset. Let's start by adding a sections type dataset. And we can see that with valid inputs, it does properly add. Now, let's say we forgot to include an ID name, then it will have an invalid error message telling us what happened. And let's try the same thing for rooms as well. We can add. And since it's a valid input, it properly adds. But let's say, for example, we're adding the wrong type of data set or a duplicate name, then it'll give an error for rooms as well. Now, one thing we can do for perform query is to query. So, for example, we can use this query for sections. Since it's a valid query, it'll return all this information. Now let's use a valid query for rooms. And since it's a valid query, it'll return this info too. But if we had an invalid query, what happens is the site returns an invalid error message. And the same applies for if we try using an invalid query on the sections dataset. It's also invalid. But if we try to run a valid one on the sections, it is valid. So finally, what we will go over is the custom endpoint. What the custom endpoint does is find the average grade for the entire year or the entire dataset provided. And since only sections dataset has that information, we can only use this feature for the sections type datasets. And we press get average grade, and it provides us the average grade. And that's it for our demonstration. Thanks for watching. And to remove the datasets, you can press remove. And as you can see, it removes both types of datasets.